In the quiet village of Winterbrook, where chimneys puffed gentle smoke and snow blanketed rooftops like sugar, there lived an old woman named Mara. Her house sat at the very edge of the village, a crooked little thing with ivy-draped windows and a garden that bloomed even in winter. But what made Mara's house truly special was the kindness jar. It was no ordinary jar. Made of crystal so clear it seemed invisible, it sat on a wooden pedestal in her front window. And inside it, when kindness happened, glowed tiny orbs of golden light, like fireflies caught in a dance. Every time someone helped another, a light would flicker into existence and float gently into the jar. When Mara was young, the jar had glowed so brightly that it lit her home at night. Children from the village would gather outside, watching it sparkle like bottled stardust. But times changed. The village grew busier. People hurried. They locked their doors tighter, wrapped their coats tighter, and closed their hearts tighter. The lights in the jar came less often, until one morning Mara woke to find it dim. The jar hadn't caught a single kindness in 3 whole days. She cupped it in her wrinkled hands. "What's happening?" she whispered. The jar pulsed faintly, still alive, but weak. Mara stood, wrapped herself in a shawl, and walked into the heart of Winterbrook. She began simply. At the bakery, she bought an extra roll and gave it to a shivering boy. At the market, she complimented a tired grocer's flowers. At the schoolyard, she tied a fallen child's shoe. She left little notes behind, handwritten with shaky fingers. "You matter. The world is better with you in it. Pass it on." Each time, a faint golden light would lift into the air and float away, toward her home, toward the jar. It wasn't easy. Some ignored her. Some scoffed. One man even muttered, "Kindness won't fill your stomach." But Mara smiled. It fills something deeper. Day by day, the village began to notice. The boy who got the roll helped an old man carry groceries. The grocer gave free fruit to a hungry child. The teacher at the school began leaving chalk-drawn hearts on the sidewalk, and the lights returned. The kindness jar began to glow again, faintly at first, then brighter. Passers-by noticed it in Mara's window and remembered how beautiful it had once been. One snowy evening, the mayor himself knocked on her door. "Mara," he said gently, "what is that jar?" She invited him in. Around them, the walls flickered with golden light. "It's not magic," she said. "Not really. It only shows what's already there, what we forget when we're too busy." The mayor looked long and hard at the jar, and then smiled. The next morning, he announced the first Winterbrook, Kindness Week. People began leaving warm socks on doorsteps. Children made kindness chains at school. Neighbors who hadn't spoken in years began sharing meals, and the jar, oh the jar, blazed like a sun. One night, a child asked Mara, "What happens if the jar fills all the way?" She chuckled. "Then it overflows into the sky." And it did. The very next night, the kindness jar pulsed, shimmered, and then burst. Not with a bang, but with a bloom of soft golden light that floated into the stars above Winterbrook. From that night on, every time someone showed kindness, a new star blinked into the sky. And Mara? She still sat by her window, a new jar in her lap, ready to remind the world that even in the smallest light, kindness lives, and all it takes to keep it glowing is to pass it on.